Welcome back to the Future of Real Estate. I'm Brett Ellis of the Ellis team at RE/MAX Realty Group. Our phone number is 239-489-4042. Our website is topagent.com. A lot of stuff you can do there. You can take virtual tours of our properties. You can visit our Facebook page, our Twitter page, go to our YouTube account. We've got a YouTube channel. We've got bank foreclosures on there. You can search the entire MLS. A lot of good stuff. Download our State of the Market report, which we'll hopefully be redoing in next month. Hard to believe. It's been another year.
It's been a year, yeah.
Okay, Sandy, I got a story to talk about. Those reality shows. Some of them aren't so real, are they?
They're not so real, no. Actually, Brett, I don't know if you remember this or not, but we were contacted by one of the reality shows and asked us to be on there. And
I didn't like it. I didn't like the process.
Yeah, well, the process was kind of complicated.
Symphony.
Yeah. Well, it was actually because, first of all, the people had already had to purchase a house.
Right.
Okay, but hopefully they hadn't moved in yet, so that you could go and take all the pictures of it, the kind of the before, and that you could walk through with them as if they were a potential buyer.
But how many people closed but haven't moved in?
Well, yeah, and that the former people's things are still there, okay?
Right.
Because later, then you were going to come back and take them back through and show what they had done, and they were happy with their
all
new
within
home.
like a day or two,
Yeah, and you were supposed to have like 3 different houses that they had kind of picked out.
But if those are off the market,
that were the choices. Yeah, and in some cases, by the time you did that,
so you're recreating, but you're just recreating phony choices because
right. And the conversations that people would have with each other too.
But can you imagine showing up to a prospective home and bringing in a film crew and the owners being there?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then saying, what is this all about, and blah, 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 and why
well, actually, they all had to pass the kind of the scrutiny test because
you had to send video of your buyer.
You had to send a video in, and you had to see how well they photographed and how well they spoke, and if they were interesting enough. Because after all, they wanted people to watch it.
You got to really want to be on TV badly to go on that show because there's a lot of stuff you had to go through. And the timing we're too busy for that.
Well, and that was our issue. But here was the thing. They actually paid the buyers. I think it was like $500, but I don't remember for sure. But anyway, there was a payment that they would receive. The realtors, they didn't pay you anything. And one of the realtors that had talked about it complained that she had to spend 40 hours taping. Now she can't be out selling, she can't be taking care of business, and she has to keep repeating what she said to the buyer, and so that it's interesting, that kind of thing. So,
well, if you only had a buyer here and buyer there, you could give up 40 hours.
That would work.
I guess you're hoping to get exposure, and people might want to work with you. You could say, "Hey, I was on HGTV's." Buy this house or flip this house.
And
or
they run
something.
these shows more than one time, so actually the exposure is pretty good.
We don't have time to do all that. Recreate that. Send in video of our buyers. See if they pass. Then go back.
Yeah.
Try to recreate the houses. The houses are gone.
You had to set up. It had to kind of be the perfect storm or the perfect scenario.
But
so
our
that
market's
it would
moving
work.
fast. They're not sitting on the market 9 months.
Yeah.
So unless you showed them 3 short sales, might still be there.
Could do that.
So that's kind of the gist of this article, isn't it?
Yeah, that's kind of what that's all about. And then some realtors, kind of saying, this is not real. But then there's the other side of that. If you're watching television, you're one of those people that watches a lot of reality shows, you already know it's kind of not real, right?
Exactly. Well, basically, what I want to say, interest rates. Remember when we reported they're almost at an all-time low at 4.71%?
We like that too.
Hold that thought. It's only it shot up to 4.81%. Still pretty low.
Fantastic, yeah.
But we're no longer at the records.
Yeah.
So 4.81. You just missed out on 0.1%. So
doesn't mean that they might not come up and come down, but you want to be watching them and you want to be ready because now is the time when you got rates like that. Anything less than 5 or 6,
And
wow.
we've got less than 2 minutes left.
Oh.
Cape Coral.
Yeah.
Open
They're
house
in the
signs.
news.
They're in the news again. Open house stuff. Boy, they come up with regulations.
Yeah.
What, you can only have 2 directional signs to your property or they'll pick them up.
That Frank Cassidy rides again, I guess. Yeah, did you see that?
Yeah.
2 of them, directional signs to get to the house, and then 2 of them at the house.
Okay, if you're not accustomed to how things work in Cape Coral, you know how many people don't. I had a customer that I closed on his house and called me up and said, I can't find my house. I need you to drive me to my house.
Yeah.
So if you're
More than once.
and that's someone who bought.
Yeah.
So imagine
That's true. I mean, they go back home. They're gone for 3 or 4 months.
if you got a
they come
house that's back in
forget.
on some cul-de-sacs, you may need more than 2 directional signs off the main road.
Oh yeah, because it's a right turn here, a left turn there, a right turn here, a left turn there, a right, left. You know, you need them to get from that main road. You know,
Absolutely.
I can understand the 2 at the house, and I can understand somebody maybe putting up way too many signs. But
Yeah,
wow,
they're
if
trying
you're
to
going to
avoid
have
the
an open
circus.
house, what you want to have is get the people, let them find their way.
Hey,
You know?
I'd rather have a few open house signs than
Yeah.
a forest in front of the tree that's not been mowed. Because that realtor cleans up the property.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of things happen. So don't get on the realtors about the open house signs.
Well, and not only that, they're only going to be there 2 or 3 hours. You know,
Exactly.
4
So
the
don't
most.
they have better things to do with the budget cuts and the Cape councilmen all seeming to go to jail and all the stuff?
But it's keeping them in the news.
That's true. Not the right kind of news, but they say all press is good.
Yeah.
Hey, we know buying and selling real estate is a big, big decision. Most buyers and sellers we meet with have lots of questions. 4 more that can be addressed in a short show like this. We hope today's show is informative. If you have more questions or would simply like to talk to us, give us a call. We can be reached at 239-489-4042. Don't forget our website, which is topagent.com. We're easy to talk to. We love to help people. But most of all, we present you with your options. If you have a property to sell, please call us. We can definitely help. I'm Brett Ellis of the Ellis team at RE/MAX, topagent.com. On behalf of Sandy, Mike, Dave, and our entire team, thanks for being with us.